My name is Joshua Dorridge.
How you would usually speak? Not shouting. How you speak in the video?
Shout. Normal.
Alright.
Joshua is a person who had a tough start in life and also had a roundabout or a turnaround experience in his life, both naturally and spiritually, and he's on a mission to help other people discover that what he had experienced. There's a limit. How you think, you don't let your mind travel. You let your mind travel and stop somewhere. There's a limit in terms of your thinking. Okay, like I will say now, I want to be an engineer and I will be an engineer. But the Goya mentality will say that I would like to be an engineer, but I can't be an engineer. You know, it's a kind of cap. Making things kind of seem impossible because, you know, they say Guyaguayare, the bush mentality, you know, we don't know about civilization. That's what they say, you know, and it's a stigma and we just gravitate towards that, and whatever you gravitate towards, that's just what you're going to manifest. So we believe that. So it's a lot of limitations. We just limit ourselves, you know. For me, that shift started when I was introduced to the Boys to Men program. I was I wouldn't say very bad behaved boy, but I used to give a little trouble, you know. I hate when people talk about my parents. I get upset. I used to beat around, fight around, get on bad. Nobody could have stopped me, you know. I'm uncontrollable, you know, with my anger. And I was introduced to the Boys to Men program in Guyaguayare Secondary School now, and the guy came and he rolled out the program to us, and I attended. And the thing that I learned, you know, I get food for my belly and I also get food for thought. You know, hearing topics like the role of a man in the family, hearing topics like from a hustler to a businessman, how to be a role model in your community, self-esteem, which was a major topic. There has to be a shift. Right, so I choose to gravitate towards that. In other words, I always say to people, Boys to Men program is like a Ferrari. You jump in the Ferrari, and however you accelerate, that's the benefit you get. Now I'm permanently employed in Massey Gas Product with the shift I made 5 years, 6 years ago. You see, because it was a Ferrari, I jumped in and I mashed it out. I maxed it out. You see, I could have choose to cruise control. Where would I be if I had cruise control? Probably still in Guyaguayare. But I choose to want more out of life, and I gravitate towards that. So this is me in the Boys to Men program. A shifting took place, and here I am, helping others make that shift for themselves. Self-esteem for me is basically self-worth. When I begin to understand who am I and what I worth and what I have to contribute to this life, it did something. It stirred me up to just want success, to just want growth for myself, you know. And I could choose to, you see, I have the power to command things in my space, meaning I have the authority to do that. And I could choose to be hungry, and I could choose to want to grow, and I could choose to do this and choose to do that. But then I choose to continue to, you know, speak good things in my life, wake up in the morning, look myself in the mirror, and I say, I decree and I declare that good things are only supposed to happen to me. You know, and those are the kind of things I do to empower me. You know, because at the end of the day, you want to reach out to other people, but you're not reaching out to yourself first. So it's all started with you. So self-esteem for me is basically knowing what I worth, all right? And now that I understand who am I and what I worth, all right, and what I have to offer, I'm on a journey where I'm helping other young people find themselves, find out their purpose in life, what they really have to offer. You know, and there's nothing more satisfying than a man finding his purpose. Birds of a feather flock together, alright? Whatever you allow in your space, remember, you become what you think of most. And if you lie with a bunch of guys who just on about negativity, who all about thieving, all about turning parties and all these other things, then you're just gonna become as messed up as they are. But if you cling to a bunch of guys who's all about growth like you want it for yourself, and who's all about what's the another course will be, how can we do this, how can we be innovative, to achieve certain things, those are the people you want to cling close to, so I mean that builds up your environment.